It's morphin' time. Pterodactyl.
Hi there, this is Datila with Rangers of Wrestling, bringing you the Wrestling Time Monday Night Raw post show. Alright, so Monday Night Raw's kicked off with the new WWE champion, Brock Lesnar. Actually, no, wait. He kicked off with Paul Heyman introducing his client, the reigning defending WWE champion, Brock Lesnar. So he basically said that Lesnar was going to face the winner of tonight's Fatal 4-Way match. He says that Roman Reigns is vulnerable without him, and that's why he was unable to compete at day one. He doesn't say anything bad about Big E. He gives Big E a lot of credit. He says that he did a lot of things as WWE champion, and that it's going to be an honor to have Big E lose to Lesnar. But basically, we find out that in the main event, it's going to be a fatal 4-way match. It's going to be Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens versus Big E versus Bobby Lashley for a number one contender to face Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble. This was the match we were originally supposed to get at day one, but as we all know, it became a fatal 5-way. I sort of survived Raw. Hello, Steve. Then we got the tag team match. It was RKBro versus Alpha Academy. This was a good match. Alpha Academy pretty much dominated Matt Riddle, and it allowed them to pick up the victory here. So maybe they're starting to put the hints that RK-Bro is about to split up. As soon as they drop those tag titles, I honestly think Randy's turning on Riddle. So after that, we get a quick backstage segment with Bobby Lashley, basically saying that Brock Lesnar fears Bobby Lashley. This is where Raw started to lose its momentum. We had a 24/7 championship mixed tag match. It was Tamina and Akira Tozawa versus Dana Brooke and Reggie. Really? You start off strong with an incredible segment, and you get a good match, and then you have this. Where's Michael with his little thumb down thing? This was a quick match. Of course, Dana Brooke and Reggie won. There was no point to this. Kind of pointless. I didn't need this match. Could care less about this match, unfortunately. So then after this, we get a Becky Lynch segment. She basically says that it doesn't matter if you fell when the clock strikes midnight, everything changes. Steve Callahan saying that match was garbage. Yeah, it was. I didn't care for it. My least favorite part of Raw. And she said, many women have tried and many women have failed. And she says that she's thought about her decisions and that she's become a work of art. And she starts calling herself Vincent Van Gogh, a play on Vincent Van Gogh, the painter. And she says that none of the girls in the back will win the title. And she basically says that Liv broke the promise to herself. And then who comes out? Liv Morgan comes out. Then Bianca Belair comes out. She says that she and Becky Lynch got some unfinished business. And Becky was just like, oh, you ladies settle it and then let me know what's up. They attack Becky and then they attack each other. And before I elaborate more on that, there's this another segment that follows I want to talk about before I elaborate further on that. But for now, I'm going to continue. So then after this, we got the women's tag team title match. It's Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley versus Carmella and Queen Zelina. Another pointless match. This match was completely pointless. I mean, okay. On one hand, I'm glad that Rhea Ripley did not turn on Nikki ASH because I thought that's what was going to happen if they lost. Even though I know a lot of people want Rhea Ripley to be in the singles division, if they break up Rhea and Nikki, where's the women's tag team division? Pretty much non-existent. There's no women's tag teams. They broke them up, released a lot of women. So I really don't know what's next and where they go from here. So in a way, I'm glad that they did not split them up. Steve Callahan saying Rhea should have destroyed Nikki ASH. I know a lot of people wanted that, but like I said, if she does that, the women's tag team division is dead. All right. So then, set the women's tag belts on fire. Oh my God, Steve. You are too funny. All right. So then we got the Street Profits versus Apollo Crews and Commander Azeez. Azeez dominated Montez Ford. He did a good job. And then Azeez pulled Dawkins off a Crews. Dawkins set Commander Azeez crashing into a pole, and the Street Profits ended up being victorious. I have to say, WWE doing the same strategy with Commander Azeez and Apollo Crews, allowing Apollo Crews to take the pin for Commander Azeez, in a way protecting him and, you know, trying to put him over as a big guy, just like Omos. I think eventually we're going to see who's the better big guy, Omos or Commander Azeez, but more on that down the road. All right, so as I said earlier, there was more to the Becky Lynch segment that I want to talk about, but it plays into the next match. So Doudrop goes up to Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce, basically saying, she brings up an excellent point, basically saying that people are tired of the same women always getting opportunities. So next week on Raw, it's going to be a triple threat match. Bianca Belair versus Liv Morgan versus Doudrop. The winner faces Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble. And she's right. If that segment hadn't happened, I would have had those same sentiments. Again, Bianca Belair versus Liv Morgan. Like, we've seen that already. We just saw Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch this past Saturday. And Becky already defeated with Bianca. So I'm glad they're adding Doudrop to the match. Would it matter? No, unless she wins and we get a fresh matchup at the Royal Rumble. But if she doesn't, she has a point. The same women always getting opportunities. Really. And who's left to feud with Becky besides Doudrop? Who's left to feud with her? Maybe a returning Asuka if she comes back? Like, I don't know. I really do not know what Becky Lynch's creative direction is towards WrestleMania. So then we get the US title match. It's Alexa Bliss. Now you're jumping the gun, Steve Callahan. All right, so then we get a U.S. title match in the form of Damian Priest versus Dolph Ziggler. If Damian Priest got himself DQ'd or counted out, he will lose the title. This was a great match. Honestly, there were moments where I really thought Dolph Ziggler was going to win. I liked this match. Bobby Roode got involved multiple times. One, he pushed Priest from the top rope. That was the first false finish. Then because Bobby Roode, Damian Priest almost got counted out. That was the second false finish. Ziggler encouraging Damian Priest to hit him with the steel chair, but that did not happen. He ended up hitting Bobby Roode with the steel chair, and that still wasn't enough. Damian Priest ended up retaining. So a lot of them, Steve Callahan saying that match was meh too. I actually liked the match. A lot of false finishes, if you ask me. Kind of made you think that Dolph Ziggler is actually going to take that belt off Damian Priest. All right, then we get a backstage segment with Austin Theory and Mr. McMahon. He basically says, Mr. McMahon isn't happy that Austin Theory interrupted him when he was talking on the phone. Austin Theory apologized and said Vince McMahon said, if you did mean to interrupt. And he wants a rematch with Finn Balor, even though he lost against Finn Balor. And Vince McMahon told Austin Theory that he's in the Royal Rumble. Austin Theory, blah. You really hating on Raw tonight, Steve. Then we get a Miz and Maryse segment. Miz says he's outraged at the outcome of day one. Says that Edge is a one-time Grand Slam champion. A one-time. And he said he was this close to beating Edge, but his wife got involved. He says true love always wins. And he asks what kind of a man hides behind his wife and what kind of a man relies on his wife to fight his battles for him. And this promo had me laughing because everything that Miz was saying, he does. In a typical heel fashion, always ignoring what he does and trying to blame everybody else. And then Maryse saying that if Beth Phoenix were there, she would slap her. So then Edge and Beth Phoenix come out, and Edge says that most people would just take their loss and move on, but Miz always makes up excuses. And Beth Phoenix says that it was all her idea, and basically Edge and Beth Phoenix challenge Miz and Maryse to a mixed tag match at the Royal Rumble, to which Miz accepts. Yeah, I know they will have a tag match at the Royal Rumble. What's nothing new? Okay. So before we move on to next time, then we get a promo that basically says Alexa Bliss is returning to Raw. We're gonna see her journey to Raw. So it's funny that she's coming to Raw, yet Veer Maha has been trying to come to Raw since October, and homie's not even on Monday Night Raw yet. Hell, we didn't even get a promo announcing him. So I hope Alexa Bliss takes a Veer Maha on her way to Monday Night Raw. Poor guy's probably lost somewhere. Then we get AJ Styles versus Omos. As suspected, Omos is victorious in this match. He gave a kick to the face to AJ Styles. AJ Styles held his own against Omos, and I have to say, Omos was decent in this match. He clearly still has a lot of work that needs to be done, but props to AJ for carrying him in this match and putting him over. Honestly, I'm curious to see how Omos does in a match against somebody who's not AJ Styles. Because AJ Styles can pretty much make anybody look good. But almost in a match by himself, yeah, I need to see that before I say almost is good in the ring. Steve Callahan saying, Alexa beat Veer. He lost the race, right? All right, so then in the main event, we get a fatal four-way number one contenders match. Winner faces Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. It is Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens versus Bobby Lashley versus Big E. And I have to say, Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens making me laugh by working well together. Lashley went after Seth Rollins and shoved him into the post. Lashley, the OMG moment in this match was when Bobby Lashley went through the barricade. He was trying to spear Kevin Owens, but ended up going through the barricade. And then Kevin Owens shoves Big E into the steel steps. Rollins and Owens put Big E through the announce table. The match ends up going into the arena as Big E and Bobby Lashley chase Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. And Kevin Owens gets put to a merchandise table. And then Lashley ends up, when they come back into the ring, Lashley ends up spearing everybody. And Steve Callahan says main event was best match of Raw. I definitely agree with Lashley picking up the 1, 2, 3, and it's official for the first time ever. We're gonna have Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble for the WWE title. My head started spinning because why is this match happening at the Royal Rumble? This is a WrestleMania worthy main event. In my opinion, at WrestleMania, it should be Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship and Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre for the Universal title. And I'm hoping that happens, but it doesn't look like they're going that route. So this kind of tells me that, Big E should have faced Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. There's no doubt about that. That should have happened. Bobby Lashley should have won the Royal Rumble and faced Lesnar at WrestleMania. So who the hell's winning the Rumble then? Big E? Which is kind of ridiculous because, like I said, he should have gotten his rematch. Unless you're saving the rematch for another pay-per-view. I really hope this does not lead to Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns title for title match, winner take all at WrestleMania. I do not want that. Let me see. Steve Callahan giving it a 2 out of 5 and a 4 out of 10. Wow. Or again, maybe Big E does win the Royal Rumble, faces Lesnar. I don't know. Maybe Paul Heyman isn't over Roman firing him, screws Brock Lesnar. I don't know. I was on Discord and somebody suggested that maybe Paul Heyman screws Brock Lesnar, my bad. I really right now do not know what direction they're going with. I guess the time will tell, but we just gotta wait and see. We do. And if I have to rank tonight's Raw, I'll give it a 2.5 out of 5. The only reason I did not give it a full 3 was because we could have done without the mixed tag match. We could have done that. We could have done without the women's tag team match. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You take those 2 matches out in Raw. I don't know, I would have given it a 3, but because of that, I give it a 2.5 out of 5, and I would a 6 out of 10. That's it. Well, you guys, that's it for this review. Thank you guys all so much for watching and for your continued support. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday after AEW Dynamite. Peace.